Prince Harry, grandson to the late Queen Elizabeth II and fifth in line to the British throne, who left the royal family in 2020 due to a number of reasons which include racism and falling out with some members of the royal family and the press, of course, released his much anticipated memoir Spare on January 10, 2023, which talks about his life from childhood to date. And we are here for it. Prince Harry claims to be setting the record straight about all the info that has been going round about himself and his family over the years. And although this is not the first time he has gone public about his family issues, the book has piqued the interest of both lovers and haters alike, and also has some interesting new revelations in it. Let's check some of them out. Don't marry Camilla. Everyone knows the drama that surrounded the marriage of King Charles to the late Princess Diana, Princess William and Harry's mother, before he got married to now Queen Consort Camilla. And in Spare, the prince writes, "Despite Willie and I urging him not to, Har was going ahead. We pumped his hand, wished him well, no hard feelings." This was no surprise at all, given the circumstances preceding their father's marriage, even though a little time had passed. Nazi costume. He also said the 2005 incident where he wore a swastika and a white military shirt to a costume party was advised by William and Kate. He writes, "I phoned Willie and Kate, asked what they thought. Nazi uniform, they said. They both howled. Worse than Willie's leopard outfit," which again was the point. But don't you think Harry should have known better? Or maybe he wasn't in the right frame of mind at the time, if you understand what we're talking about. He, however, writes, "It was the biggest mistake of my life." Baby brain exchange. After a phone conversation in 2018 where Meghan had said that Kate had baby brain, a term often used to describe memory problems that some women have during pregnancy, Kate demanded that Meghan apologize to her. Harry writes, "You talked about my hormones. We are not close enough for you to talk about my hormones." At one point, William pointed at Meghan, telling her her rude comment was not appropriate in Britain, to which Meghan replied, "Take your finger out of my face." Daddy's Teddy. Harry again goes ahead to write about his father's obsession with the teddy bear, which has been in his possession from childhood to date. He writes, "Teddy went everywhere with Pa. It was a pitiful object with broken arms and dangly threads, holes patched up here and there. It looked, I imagined, like Pa might have after the bullies had finished with him." Isn't that savage? The stepmother also did not escape Harry's wrath, as he claimed that she turned his bedroom into her dressing room the moment he moved out. Concerning the issue, he writes, "I tried not to care, but especially the first time I saw it, I cared." Their father's jealousy. As if the earlymost allegations that the then Prince Charles used to be jealous of his wife, Princess Diana's popularity was not enough, Prince Harry also writes about his father being jealous about Meghan and Kate stealing the spotlight. He writes, "Willie did everything he wanted, and sometimes he didn't want him doing too much because my dad and Camilla didn't like Will and Kate getting too much publicity." He further writes, he had experienced it before and had no interest in letting it happen to him again. Kate made Meghan cry. This incident took place in 2018, days before Harry and Meghan's wedding, and was reported in the tabloids as Meghan making Kate cry, whereas the opposite happened. According to Harry, Kate had complained that Princess Charlotte's bridesmaid dress was too big. End quote. Meg asked if Kate was aware of what was going on right now with her father. Kate said she was well aware, but the dresses. The wedding is in 4 days. A short time later, I arrived home and found Meg on the floor, sobbing, he said. He also said that Kate brought some flowers to apologize the next morning. Leaking and planting of stories. Harry writes about an instance where he and William held private meetings with Camilla as a way to formally get to know her when their father began seeing her publicly, and claims that his stepmother leaked details of those conversations, saying, "Shortly after our private summit with her, she began to play the long game, a campaign aimed at marriage and eventually the crown with Pa's blessing." The fight. Perhaps the most shocking of all revelations is where he claims that he and William had gotten physical after William had called Meghan difficult, rude, and abrasive. He writes, "He grabbed me by the collar, ripping my necklace, and he knocked me to the floor. I landed on the dog's bowl, which cracked under my back, the pieces cutting into me. I lay there for a moment, dazed, then got back to my feet and told him to get out." These are some very damning allegations that could affect the popularity of the royal family. Funny enough, there seems to be a lot of support, not only from the British populace, but also the world all over. Also, looks like issues need to be resolved quickly, because there are speculations that the probability of a part 2 of this book is not completely off the table yet, as Harry himself explained that there's enough material for a whole other book. Guess we'll be having more reading to do then. The royal family has been silent in all the revelations so far and have been going about their normal duties as usual. But why is Prince Harry doing all of this? Well, according to him, he wants the truth to be told. His truth. He wants to reconcile with his family, but he also wants the royal family to apologize to his wife. And as he put it in an interview with The Telegraph, he says, "You know what you did, and I now know why you did it, and you've been caught out, so just come clean." Boy, isn't he giving us some serious protagonist John Wick chivalrous vibes right now? Do you think Harry is harassing and blackmailing the royal family? Or is he just protecting his new family? Lots of people have come to criticize the prince, saying that all of this wasn't necessary and that family issues are supposed to be kept within the family and that it's too much, and that Harry and Meghan say that they want a private life, but the last thing they are doing is staying out of the public eye, etc. But trust me, some of us are living for the juice in these stories, because boy, this stuff is juicy. However, we still hope that things don't get any worse and the family gets back together as they had been in the past sooner. Which side of the divide are you? Are you for the dignity and reputation of the royal family, or do you just want to relax and sip some juice with us? Whichever side of the divide you are on, just don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. We'll bring you more juice as it happens.